YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet, and we're back here with NCAA 14 Highland Scotties Team Builder, and this is the Scotties Sports Talk here as episode 35, as we're taking a quick preview here of week 1 as we're getting ready for this huge game here at Soldier Field. We're in Chicago this week, and we're going to be taking on Notre Dame, number 10 Notre Dame to be exact, as this is, yes, as you see there, an early test for us as Highland hits the field against Notre Dame. So we'll see if this hard work, as they're saying that we had from last year, which was, I will say, it was a tough season. We'll have to see if we can now try to start our quest now on this road of going back to the national championship and being two-time national championship winner. So Highland, as you see there, number 1 is ranked in the nation. Notre Dame number 10, and there you see across the board there, hey, we got A+ there overall rating. D offense and defense, of course, neither one of us has played yet, but Notre Dame there you see not too shabby there. They're one of the elite teams there from year in year out that you always hear talk about when it comes to college football. And then of course they got a great tradition of college football there. Take a look at their schedule there. They got Louisiana. They got UMass, they got Texas State. So they're playing some of the same ones we're playing. Of course, BYU. They're playing against Georgia, who we played last year, and of course Stanford, who we played. They played them every year, but we played them last 2 years now. They got number 6 Stanford there, so they got a pretty good schedule there for themselves. Of course, a Navy game there, and of course University of Miami, Wake Forest there. So they got a pretty good schedule there from themselves. As we're looking at our schedule. Our schedule, well, it's just as tough. You got Nebraska coming up next week, and of course another game, a rematch from last year's game against LSU. This time at a neutral site. It'll be played at Cowboy Stadium there. That should be a fun one there. Of course, because we like to get some revenge on them from what happened in that overtime game there. We'll get more into that when we get close to that game. And of course, Illinois and San Jose State. Of course, Illinois head coach now, our former defensive coordinator, David Sahib. And of course, for San Jose State, that would be Mr. Alan Lawrence, our former offensive coordinator, now head coach there at San Diego State. But take a look here at Notre Dame's offensive numbers from just a year ago there. These are some of the young underclassmen that did not play so much this year. So experience is going to be on our side here this year, as Flanagan, Cason, and Little are all returning back here after they were pretty much going to be looking like they're going to go to the NFL as some lower round draft picks. I don't think we had anybody in the top 2 or in the first 2 rounds there. But Coach Teddy Bond talked to them about possibly, if they came back, they got a great shot of being higher draft picks and maybe even higher rounds, maybe in the second round type guys. And they said, you know what, Coach, you're right. Let's stay here. We got another chance to create more history here. Let's do it. So that's exactly what they're going to do. Take a look at the top 25 poll here. I think this is the first time we've actually shown this here. But Highland, of course, the top of the list. Clemson at number 2. Washington, who we played last year for the national championship, at number 3. Alabama at number 4. And USC at number 5 to round out the top 10 there. But some pretty good teams here, of course. Some of the same teams you see year in, year out as top schools in college football here. And of course, Highland being that outlier there, got to show a lot of people here what they can do. Of course, going against a team like Washington last year who lost 2 games, and the 2 games they lost were against two teams that we played close to, was quite amazing. So we'll see if we can see another team like that come in for the national championship with 2 losses here. Hey, they've done it. We can do it too. So, of course, we would like to go in here with a clean sweep, try to run the table, try to win all the games. Unfortunately, last year we ended up losing that game against LSU at LSU there, and it was a heartbreaker there at overtime. And a lot of us are still sour about that, if you can tell, as I keep bringing that up here. But take a look at the rest of those schools there. Of course, we will be playing Texas State there, who's dead last in the preseason top 25. Now, take a look here at Highland. Of course, we're playing at a neutral site there in Chicago at Soldier Field. Of course, you got the great matchup there between Utah and Utah State, a great rivalry game there. Temple and Penn State, another rivalry game. And we got actually several good rivalry games coming up this first week. Of course, you got the bowl big game there between Colorado State and Colorado. And of course, you got some good early matchups here between some schools there that don't get to see each other here, and they'll be seeing here. And of course, a lot of SEC action here. They're going to be playing in week 1 already this season, as we got a lot of SEC matchups there. Alabama, of course, having their big game there at Texas Stadium. Between Wisconsin there. Should be a really good game there. Alabama trying to fight back to being the number 1 team in the nation, trying to get back that mantle that they've held so long here in college football. Take a look at your Heisman watch here, and there you see Kason, your top guy there. Of course, Jalen Hurts coming back for another year for Alabama, along with Flanagan, who is also coming back here for Highland, and then Sam Darnell and Brian Snead, junior there for University of Kentucky. So we'll take a look here at some of the numbers here for Notre Dame. Like I said, Notre Dame with a great team. They've lost a lot of kids over from the previous year, and of course this year they're going to be starting some of the younger guys there. Doesn't mean that we're going to be able to take advantage of them. It just means we're going to have to work a lot more harder here, because we have no game film on these individuals here, except for the playing time that they had playing some backup roles there, and some some of the games they played, they had a big run in. Take a look here at some of the toughest places there. We got a 12-game home winning streak right now, and we won't be playing too many home games. We'll playing the same amount of home games this year as we do every year, six of them, but we won't be playing them until the second half really of the season. But take a look at some of the Notre Dame guys. Yeah, look at the 90s they have on there. Highest guy right there, Chase Claypool, 91 overall. As you see, an Ian Book, their quarterback here. There you see overall 87, 81 speed there, awareness 84, throwing power 85, and 86 for his accuracy. So this kid, he's a junior redshirt there. He's definitely, if he's been held back and now playing in his junior year here, he has to be something special. So he's definitely going to be a guy that we're going to have to watch out for. I would imagine he's probably going to be a scrambler before he's a thrower. And we'll just have to see what kind of pressure we can apply on him. I will say our secondary, especially in our linebacker position, not the strongest this year. It may be a little weaker than it was last year. But we'll have to try to see if we can ring him in and pull him down as much as we possibly can. Tony Jones, there you see his numbers from last year. Take a look at his overalls there. 89 overall, 84 speed, acceleration 95. So he can be very explosive if he gets wide open in any sort of chance. If he's catching the ball or if he's just coming off the line of scrimmage there. So we definitely going to have to shut down Jones. If we can shut down Jones, I think we pretty much got them in the run. We can stop them in the running game. Passing game may become something different here, as you see. Chase Claypool, acceleration 98. So if he's wide open, he is gone. That's going to be just a huge foot race there for us, as we don't have the fastest corners and safeties out there. So that will definitely be a challenge for us here. So we're really going to have to apply a lot of pressure on their really not really experienced quarterback that they have for Notre Dame. So it's going to really come down to how well we can put pressure on that young man there, Ian Book, and of course his offensive line there. I believe he might have a couple. I think there's like 2 or 3. I think there's 2 upperclassmen on that line there, but for the most part they're all guys who are playing either their first or second year on the team, so not much experience there when it comes to the offensive line. Miles Boykins, there you see another wide receiver here who is actually the number 2 guy. He should be number 1, but he's actually the number 2 guy. I believe he's playing the slot position there, and he's a junior redshirt there. He's definitely going to be a guy that Book's going to be really relying on the offensive side of the ball. So Yeah, definitely has some big weapons there. Of course, sophomore redshirt Colt Clement commit there. Yeah, what can you say there? Great awareness, good agility there, acceleration not so bad. Speed, he definitely got some big speed there for a big guy like him. 6'6", 266 pounds. And then you take a look at his run block and pass block. He knows what he's doing there when it comes to that. So, they got a good tight end there, a good receiving tight end that can really can really do some damage. Unfortunately, he has not seen the field at all last season, so this will be his first time on the field. Like I said, we don't have any footage of him or practice or anything like that. We'll take a look at Jonathan Jones. He's playing on the field. He's been on the field twice already this season. Junior red shirt there. 2 sacks there for his career just from last year. 3 pass deflections, 3 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery from last year. And he's a guy on defensive that he could be a beast if we let him be. And of course, Flanagan, he's a bit of a gunslinger, and that's something this year he's been told to really watch out for here, as he's not going to be throwing the ball all willy-nilly like the last 2 seasons here. He has to be, if he wants a chance to win the Heisman, he's going to have to be more of a pocket presence. He can still scramble when he needs to, but he just really needs to be able to take the time that he has, and he should have more time this year with the experience that he has from that offensive line, because we have not really lost anybody on the offensive line this season. He needs to really take his time there and look down the field and go for shots. Not taking any deep shots, only if Littles happens to be open, but take some of those middle range shots there and get those guys on target, and not throwing just off the back foot or anything like that. He just needs to be solid when throwing down the field. So short medium range game. He needs to be more accustomed to, just like he was towards the second half of the season last year, because he doesn't want to get involved with this young man right here, Sean Crawford, who is his senior redshirt here, and you see his numbers there: 20 tackles, and you see only 1 interception so far in his collegiate career, 7 defensive. But this, like I said, this is his senior redshirt, and Crawford already said that he's willing to try and make a big name off of this team and off of Flanagan himself. And Jalen Elliott, another senior here. Take a look at his numbers, and you see 2 interceptions just 2 years ago. Nothing from last year, but again, another young man who's been talking here lately. Of course, bulletin board talk, and says that, hey, we know what these guys can do. We know they're a small school. We know what they were able to do, but we're gonna make them look like fools and try to embarrass them, as last year was pretty much a fluke. So a lot of talk being said. I tried to talk to Coach Teddy Bonds about it there. He told his fellas, hey, enough. We ain't gonna say nothing until we get onto the field. Let our gameplay do the talking, and let's see what we can do here. So, they kind of have a gag order, I guess, on the team there from Coach Teddy Bonds. If anybody has anything to say, wait until the day of game or after the game to say what you have to say. But in that, no talk on social media or through the media or anything like that. So we'll have to see how things go coming up here in week 1 already. Already some talk already here, especially from the opposition here, talking about how they're going to shut Highland down. So I'm going to go and get some deep dish pizza here at a nice pizzeria here in Chicago. As for you guys get ready for week 1 against Notre Dame coming up here in Highland Scotties franchise here. I cannot wait. This is going to be a great game here. Soldier Field is going to be a packed house here. I cannot wait to see the Scotty fans come out and support the boys. That is it for this episode of the Highland Scotties Sports Talk. If you guys want to be a part of the ESGN Nation, hit that bell notification and hit that subscribe button. And also don't forget to leave a like before you leave here if you enjoyed this episode. Also, don't forget to follow us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and The Score, and Facebook, The Score, and Twitter for the latest news and events on what's going on here on the channel and what's going on in the world of sports gaming in general. That's it for me, you guys. As always, keep yourselves healthy, and I will see you guys next time.